for today. You know, I always want to send my condolences to the Pam F. Shashon family on her going away on today. You know, I had an opportunity to go through and pay my respect. So let me call this prayer warrior and see what's going on.
And while Mr. Wallace getting in touch with the prayer warrior, I'd like to send my condolences to the Falk family, and
Good morning, prayer warrior.
and the Martin Luther King Jr. Association.
How you doing this morning? Okay. Good. Well, we're waiting for it because we always like to start our show off with a good prayer.
I understand, sweetie. So today's word is learn to laugh at yourself more freely. Don't take yourself or your circumstances so seriously. Relax and know that I am God with you. When you desire my will above all else, life becomes less threatening. Stop trying to monitor my responsibilities, things that are beyond your control. Find freedom by accepting the boundaries of your domain. Laughter lightens your load and lifts your heart into heavenly places. Your laughter rises to heaven and blends with angelic melodies of praise. Just as parents delight in the laughter of their children, so I delight in hearing my children laugh. I rejoice when you trust me enough to enjoy your light-heartedly. Do not miss the joy of my presence by hearing the weight of the world on their shoulders. Rather, take my yoke upon you and learn from me. My yoke is comfortable and pleasant. My burden is light and easily borne. This can be found in Proverbs 17:22, Proverbs 31:25, Matthew 1:23, Matthew 11:29.
Wow. Hey, look, we always get an uplifting when you read the prayer in the morning first. You uplift the show with the prayers and everything that goes along with it. We sure appreciate you and we love you.
Thank you for
I
that.
love and appreciate you guys too. You can see, I know the people are tired of me. I know here. I am so proud of you guys. I love reading the word. I'm honored that you guys would trust me to do that. Even reading it enlightens my world.
Thank you for
There's
that.
some things I forget. When you read that word, you know,
It's all on top, you know,
it's all
and we appreciate you for whoever's tired of hearing you. That's their problem. We are not tired of hearing you, because if you was tired of hearing you, we wouldn't call you to give us the prayer for the day.
Thank you for that beautiful word of encouragement. And
I'm feeling a lot better, so I'm going to put something together towards that, and I will talk to you at another time.
All right, thank you. Have a blessed day. Love you.
Thank you, sweetie.
All right. You too, baby. Well, now we're gonna get into the show. You know, we had the word of the day. That was a blessing for everyone, not just for some. You know, all those who received it, let it be there. But this morning, we got a surprise guest. He just walked up on
he just walked in, took over the show.
You never make it.
Good morning, Councilman Pat Lewis, District 1, former District 3 Councilman.
Good morning. Glad to be here. Glad to invite.
Yeah.
We love when Pat Lewis walk in, take over the show, because we know we're going to have a good time this morning.
Yes. Hey, I know you guys been watching the trial or whatever they call it.
The January 6th hearing.
Yeah, the January 6th hearing. And, you know, I'm sort of like a CNN person, you know, letting things go the way it be going, you know, and if people don't understand what's really going on, you know, I'll be listening to CNN, and they got a lot of people still trying to say this didn't happen, you know, and it's facts that all of this happened on January 6th.
People don't understand what's going on, but I'm gonna tell you about what's going on. A lot of people are about to go down.
Yeah, well, you know, Trump incited all of this, and some people say he didn't. He didn't have nothing to do with it, but they got all the information, the facts, the stack, everything is stacked right up on all of this here. And he refused it to want to give up the president, and he didn't win.
You know that there's a little town in Mexico on the 7th of this month. They refused to certify their election results for their local election based on the big lie.
Yeah.
On Trump's big lie that the justice at the election system is a cheat. So this little community in Mexico decided not to certify all the GOP elected decided not to certify the election. So the county secretary state had to file a lawsuit in federal court in order for them to certify the election.
You know, Councilman Pat, we're going to get to you, but this is something that's been on my heart for many years. Social Security benefits. You know, I watch this here on CNN, no, C-SPAN, and Robert Roach said the average person is getting $1,200 a month. And he said that wasn't enough. The question I have is, what you think about those that's getting $600 or less a month?
But from what I was seeing and reading in the news, some of the news articles that's out there about Social Security, in probably the next 10, 15 years, Social Security will be bankrupt.
No, it's not going to be bankrupt.
That's what's out there. That's what they're putting out
Well,
there.
they're putting out there trying to put fear in our heart to make us weak to what they're doing. But they're all sitting down there making big money. You understand me? Trying to erupt what's going on with the little person. You know, all of this, you know, like one guy say, oh, we don't get discount on gas. No, you don't get discount on gas, but you're making enough money to pay for the gas that you charge other people for. Mm-hmm. You know, and this is my thing. You know, they got a lot of people out here that receive less than the amount of money that they can, you know, because of the past and how all of this was brought about. You know, when before they started enforcing minimum wage, when they was paying black people no money and charging them Social Security, you know, and they might have been paying 75 cents a week into Social Security.
That ain't nothing.
That ain't nothing. But you had the Caucasian, the European, making paying $5 a week into Social Security, so that made their Social Security higher than anything, you know. So we're gonna get off of that,
Well,
but
no,
I want y'all to
let me say a few things about the Social Security. because you and I had a conversation about that before. But we need to understand Social Security, how it really works. Now, Mr. Key just brought up something about Mexico. Now, you have some countries that do not have Social Security. You see, so this country have Social Security, and you just touched it a few minutes ago, saying that some people I was paying 75 cents into Social Security, and some people paying $5 in Social Security. Okay, so when it's time for you to collect benefits from Social Security, it all depends how much money you put into the Social Security. Now, you do have some people that's getting money, some benefits, government assistance, that never put into Social Security. So we need to understand when we talk about benefit from Social Security, some people, again, did not put into it, and they're getting something that you and I had put in, and they're not getting it. So we need to understand the system that we have. We have a system that you're rich, you're middle class, or you're poor. Other countries have a system where you're either rich or you're poor, no in between. So we need to be careful how we discuss the issue about Social Security. It's not about because somebody's saying that the average is $1,200 and some not getting $1,200. But I'm in a retirement system and I can't even get all my Social Security that I put into. Because in '86, when Reagan was the president, he decided that anyone retired from a government job, and if they put into Social Security, they cannot get all their Social Security.
Correct.
So now I put in Social Security and I can't get all mine because I have a retirement job.
So what what it is, your retirement and your portion of Social Security gonna meet up with what you're supposed to fully get in Social Security.
No. They only give, no matter who you are, you only get about maybe 50% of your Social Security. And if you put in, say your Social Security was supposed to be $2,000, they give you $1,000, but where's your $2,000? Because you got another retirement, and your retirement was $3,000, you still cannot get all your Social Security. Where myself and other people that put into it, they're not getting all their funds. And why are we not getting it all? Because they're saying that when I'm talking about the Reagan administration, is saying that we double dipping. But I put money into Social Security and I can get all my Social Security. I'm only getting 50% because I have a retirement that I put into the retirement as well. So I put into retirement and I also put into Social Security, but I can only get my retirement from the state, but I can't get my full retirement that do me. And now I'm talking about me, but and other people that also retire from a state job. And they didn't work on the Social Security. So that's not good. Not good at all.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Need some laws.
It seems like we always being duped. You know, when I was coming up, I was working, and this lady told my mother that she should make sure all her kids have a Social Security card. You know, so when they go to work, they're gonna pay into Social Security.
Correct.
Well, you know, my mother got a law Social Security card, and when I started working, you know, I was making $55 a week. You know, and the Caucasian guy was making $200 a week. So, like I said, compared to my 50 or 75 cents a week that I was paying in Social Security, he was paying $5 a week in the Social Security because he was making more money.
It all depends
You
on
know?
your salary
Yeah,
they take out.
on
So
your
now
salary.
they would take out what they were taking out of him, you would go home with no pay.
Yeah.
So, but I understand your point. You did not put in. So where you got duped, like you said, is that your salary wasn't as compatible to the white counterpart. Now, if your salary been compatible, you put in more into the Social Security.
Yeah.
So,
and
that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's why, you know, a lot of times we have to make sure that we can't do anything about our past, you know, but we could sure make it right for our future, you know, and we're always talking about reparation, we're always talking about this happening and stuff like this here. This would be one of the good things that they would do for the elderly people that was born in the 40s, you know, that worked in the 50s, worked in the 60s, you know, because up to, 65, black people wasn't making the dollar amount that our white counterpart was making. So now it's time for us and our elected official to say, wait, let's look back and straighten up our mistakes from our past. But they're not gonna do that. So we gonna get on to our show, and what Councilman Pat Lewis is
While we on the while we on the subject of spending and money, talk about it with a couple of dollars, city tax dollars.
city tax dollars. Oh wow.
The mayor-
Overpaying our money, just throwing our money out.
How about it, Mr. Lewis? The mayor president purchased property in St. Martin Parish just to remove some small banks, triple the amount of the value of the property, what the property is worth. And then, to go on about it, he bought it from some of the owners and left some of the owners out. He didn't know nothing about it. But when you do that with government tax dollars, it's called gracious donations, and that is not gracious donations is not allowed under law for a government entity. So we're gonna let Mr. Lewis talk about a little bit about this, as to informing our viewers as to what's going on, and he can go off into his own subject, whatever he want to talk about.
Well, if you know, if you read the article, if you have not read the article, I'm going to just respond to what you are saying. It's what the administrator did with the small bank overpaid the property. When we found out, in fact, when I found out about it, is when the news came out. And the way things are happening now with social media, people hear about things before elected officials hear about things. And if it would have been 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't hear about it. We probably wouldn't even be having a discussion because we wouldn't have known about it. But as soon as things happen, we hear about it. Now, I heard about it probably, I want to say Monday, when I found out about that. There was a sale that was passed, that a bill of sale as far as purchasing property, I think was worth $42,000, and I think they sold it they purchased it, the sale Lafayette purchased it for, I think, $126,000, somewhere around that area. And the strangest thing about it, the gentleman that's making the report is a first relative of one of the attorneys in Lafayette. That's what's so strange about it. So he, in other words, I guess the attorney for the city of Lafayette had some property. Him and his family had property, and the city purchased that property for 3-4 times that it's worth. Now, let's face it, we're hearing about this and we're talking about it, but we know they've been happening for many years. I mean, I know I have family members in the past that property was worth maybe $100,000, and you know, somebody took it from them because of supposedly for taxes. So what you are seeing, what you are reading, that's nothing new. That's something that's been going on. When it comes to people that they know, friends of the family or family members, they overpay for property.
Well,
but when it comes to us, or people like, you know, these 4 people in this room right here, we're not gonna get face value. We're lucky we get face value.
yeah.
So
Well,
that's something that been going on.
Camellia Boulevard.
Good.
Camellia Boulevard.
Let's talk about that.
When Walter Como was city president,
Parish president.
parish president, you know, he bought property to make Camellia Boulevard a success. He bought the property, bought the houses, and turned around and paid for the people that he was buying houses from, paid for them another house where they wanted to live at. You know, so all these things came up on the supposed to be consolidation. Consolidation was supposed to be a good thing, but consolidation wasn't good for everybody. It was only good for the elected official that wanted to do what they wanted to do. They went in broke and came out filthy rich.
Now I was the other night I was looking at some ordinances from 94 and 95. And so in the charter from 94, around 94, 95, before consolidation came through, the talk of consolidation was in 93, but consolidation didn't take effect. Full consolidation didn't take effect till 96. From well, not really after the 2000s, because Kenny Bowen was still mayor of Lafayette from what it was 93 to 2002, and
No, Walter Como took over.
we was
in 96. He took over in 96. Because that's when I started going to consolidate.
he was in 2002 was the last year of Kenny Bowen. I was reading it, so this thing signed off on it. In 96, Walter Como was the parish president. They had differences. They had differences about the charter amendment at the time. Consolidated. It went to court. Consolidation didn't take effect right away in 96. The charter was wrote in 96, but it went to court. And they had to wait till the judge come back and see that the mapping of the districts was correct.
Okay.
In order for it to fully take effect. So that's what made it take effect in 2002 is that waiting period. But we was functioning at that time until they was waiting for a decision from the judge under a functional consolidation system, because the city of Lafayette still had a mayor.
Okay.
And when the judge came back, approved the districts, the way they drawn them out under consolidation, and that's when it fully consolidated.
Okay.
Then,
But the thing of it is, right now, look what really happened now. Fix the charter.
charter got us to where we at now.
No, and fix the charter was not good for us, you know. And I remember Councilman Pat Lewis went meeting to meeting and trying to explain to the people that fix the charter was no good for us. Everybody that went to fix the charter but him. I was looking in my archives the other day, and I looked and found this flyer, you know, where they had all these elected officials smiling and bull crapping us, you know, about fix the charter. Fix the charter. One of our councilmen that was on that with the fix the charter, that was the best thing since cotton candy with his slick mouth. You understand me? Trying to convince us that fix the charter was good for us. Now, where fix the charter got us today? We got a councilman, you understand me, that I think better explain it better than I can. Where fix the charter got us today? What fix the charter is done for us today? Councilman?
Oh, fix the charter, but what's the thing? Well, I mean, everybody look at. I'm not going to say everyone, but I think people should be looking at if they're not attending the meeting on twice a month on Tuesdays, the first and the third Tuesday of the month, council meeting, or you can look at it on ELC, and people should be seeing issues that we having with the charter. Simple and quick to the point is that you have 5 and 5 parish councilmen and 6 city councilmen. So if the city or the parish wants something to move forward, especially if it's something joint that the administrator do, it's hard to. We have to make sure that both council members agree on it. So that's basically the whole issue that we have is 5 and 5, no one breaks the tie. Back then when it was city council, city parish council, you had 4 city council members, 5 city council members and 4 parish council members, and the city, which is the one that has the population and also have the monies. We have almost $700,000, $700 million, not thousands, $700 million that we control what happens. But now, the way it is now, even though we have all these funds, the parish have a lot to say.
And I mean, fix the charter. It messed us up, but we're in the process in the future of really trying to fix the charter. Really trying to. No, I wouldn't call it fix the charter, but really trying to get the representation we deserve.
I would ask you, how would that work? You see, in the near future, how you figure that would work? I mean, you evidently have a plan. What are you talking about? I want to know that. I mean, that's news to my ears. I want to know.
Yeah.
No,
I'm excited to hear that.
We're working on trying to advocating as to trying to get Lafayette a mayor and an elected chief of police.
And you see, that's the issue right there. You have to get both council to agree on that to bring it to the people for a vote. Right now, as we speak, the parish do not want this to happen. The city would love to bring it to a vote.
I got a question. That got to be brought before the state legislature first to approve an election for that. They got to be put on some type of ballot.
Well, it has to be put on a
Okay.
ballot. So anytime you put something on the ballot, you have to go from the legislators. You
Okay.
have to be get bonding and what have you for all that. You have
And
to
has to have
bond,
support for that,
and have to
right?
have support for that. So, but on a local level,
Mhm.
just to get into the legislature, you have to have both council agree on
Okay.
it. And then once we agree on it, the legislature have no problem with it. Then we can purchase some bonds to put it out on the ballot. So that's the issue, the problem we have. Just like you guys were talking about fix the charter. To fix the charter, back then you needed both council. You had 5 city councilmen and 4 parish council. So I was one in the city council that didn't agree. You see, so we're 3 of us. But then you had 4 parish council members. Well, in fact, 2 parish council and 1 city council. We were 3 that was against it. And then you had the other 4 city council members and the other 2 parish councils agree on it. So that's why I was brought to the legislature to bring it to a vote, and the people voted on it, and
But
that's where we are.
they lied to the people about it.
Mhm.
This is why the people went for it, because they was lying.
Well, I understand they were lying, but let me just bring it back. You had a president, Trump. What does he did? What he's doing? What he did is 4 years.
Lie.
Because he did for 4 years. What he's doing now?
Lie.
Okay.
To say if Lafayette don't get its own mayor, you would have to go through the administration or whatever the city council decided they wanted to bring in a city manager. They would have to go through the administration.
No, again, and you know, like I know people talk about, why don't you just amend the charter? You cannot do anything.
Both councils got to agree.
You have to agree. You have to agree, and you just can't amend a charter. As like when it was fixed the charter, you have to bring it to the people for a vote. You can't amend this charter because you have to bring it to the people
For a vote, correct.
And to bring it to the people for a vote, you need both council to agree. And again, as I think I said last time I was on the air, and I'm gonna say it again, that it's not against the parish, against the city of Lafayette. It's the unincorporated area. And if you notice, when I say parish council members, all five parish council members are unincorporated council members. They call them parish council members. And you have to understand the difference between the unincorporated areas and the city. They all live in an unincorporated area. They don't belong to any city. They do not live in a town or village or a city. They're unincorporated. They're on an island where they pay no city tax to no city. And the only city that help them out of all 6 cities in Lafayette Parish is Lafayette. And us 3 right here live in the city of Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a homeowner, you pay two taxes: city tax, well, really three. City tax to the city you live in. If you live in Lafayette, you pay Lafayette tax. If you live in Broussard, Cancun, you pay city tax to those cities. And everyone that lives in Lafayette Parish pay parish tax. And the other third tax, you pay sales tax.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something you have to do. Everything is run on tax. The government is run by tax, no matter what. It's not a private public entity. It runs on taxes. Like when you're talking about Social Security, you have to pay into Social Security to receive Social Security, to get your streets fixed, to get anything done, your dishes dredged, potholes. Is government money they pay for. So you have a right when you say you pay taxes. You have a right. You pay tax, but now you live in an unincorporated area where you have 5 parish or unincorporated council members. That's why I said last time what you call representation. They represent people, but they don't pay taxes.
Representation
what-
without taxation.
Taxation.
Right.
Okay, so so in order to get a city manager, you would have to have a charter of it.
Not
Not
yeah.
really.
You have to bring it to the people again to amend the charter, and then you turn around the administrator and have a manager. If you're talking about manager like they have in all the other cities, they don't. You know, they have a manager of council, a manager of Youngville. You have a manager. You have an elected chief of police. But that's when they did the charter back in '96. It was all written out, like you said, it didn't go into effect till in the 2000s, right? But they work all that out, and all these other cities say, "I do not want to participate with Lafayette. Lafayette is on their own. We want to have our own mayor. We want to have our own council. We have a manager. We have all that." Lafayette agreed to stay as is, where you have a mayor president without a manager. We have a manager, a clerk. That's what we have, the clerk of the council, who's Ms. Veronica Williams, and who's doing a fantastic job. But we don't have in other words, she works for the council.
Yeah,
She do not
yeah,
work
she
for the
can-
manager, for the administrator.
Yeah. She cannot make
She make decisions for the council.
for the council,
Right.
but she cannot make decisions for the city as regarding to the executive branch. Right.
Well, no, because she works for the council.
For the council.
Well, the city, Lafayette city resident, should start fighting or speaking up for the city of Lafayette to have the same thing that the
Other cities.
other cities have. You know, we don't have an elected police chief. We don't have an elected mayor. We really don't have a elected but a mayor. That's the only thing that's elected, and he's mayor president. So him being mayor president, guess what? He have all these hats that he's wearing, because whoever he hires as the chief of police got to go under what he wants, not what the chief wants, unless he's elected. All our elected positions have to go on what, I hear you talk about it all the time, Councilman Pell. You have to be obligated to your constituents, and as long as you're obligated to your constituents, you're gonna be a good elected official, and the mayor president, he's only obligated to the people that voted him in, but at the same token, he's more obligated to himself than the people that voted him in.
And Mr. Lewis, I know we watched the council meeting on last Tuesday. The city council posed 10 questions to
I thought it was 18.
18. Posed 18 questions to the administration to answer. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Mm-hmm. Sure can. Well, these 18 questions that we proposed to the administrator, we asked them not to, they don't have to answer them until a month, so which will be the next 3 weeks they'll be answered. So there are some questions that they have to, like when we talked about earlier about the small banks, about some funding that was paid, for instance, $37 million to a contract in 7 months, $37 million. And also there was a bid, a contractor, 5 different contractors bidding on jobs, and the lowest bidder was $380,000. And 2 months later, there was a change order for $3.7 million, and no bids was come back out. They didn't come back and bid the job, and just give it back to that little bidder. So that we may feel there's some ethical issues, some violation, bidding violation. So that's part of the question is asking. There's a lot more question than that. So basically, that's what it would that we're talking about, some questions that the administrator need to answer.
Now, if do they have to answer those questions?
Well, they don't have to, but it wouldn't look good if they don't. We asking them, and if they don't answer those questions,
What is the SPAL makes for people out there listening? That's dredging?
Well, you see they have letters on Cypress Island.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And what they did, this particular contractor, he went in and removed the SPAL banks, the levee, at night in the dark, without a license or without a permit from the Corps of Engineers.
Like they
So that's
did,
what
like
they
they did that tree at the Four Corners, that oak tree. They cut it in the middle of the
Or
night.
they did in Laurelville when they moved the house in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Now, I seen an article about a suit between you and a individual in the community, Michael Humphrey,
Yeah.
citizen for
Well, what that suit was about, because I started back in February of this year, I started a committee, Protect the City. This
Yeah.
committee about Lafayette having his own mayor, elected chief of police, and whatsoever, and to bring this to the people for a vote. And he felt that there were some questions that, in other words, not questions, he wanted to know about my plans that myself and other people shared. And they were communicating in privacy, doing some sneaky thing. And there was nothing. And he just felt that there should have been, so he wanted to
Open
do
meeting.
something. Huh?
Under the open meeting thing.
No, it's not necessarily open meeting. Just, I guess you could say open meeting, that I was sharing information.
public records request.
Yeah, right. And then he did a public record request, and there was nothing. But then he wanted me to provide something. Well, how can you provide something and there's nothing to provide? They look at my emails and my texts, and I didn't text anyone. I didn't email anyone that pertained to Protect the City. And he just felt that, I guess he felt I was lying, but there was nothing. So, went to court behind it, and, I was found innocent. The judge said he don't know why I'm here. You cannot make me produce something when there's nothing to be produced. So I'm asking for attorney fees and court fees, back in. And now the last thing I heard, he said, well, I'm elected official, so because I was being represented by the city attorney, but still in all, the city attorney got paid,
Yeah.
so he needs to get reimbursed. But they always have these conservative people. And I'm gonna say those white wing conservative
Yes,
people.
yes.
They all have angles to, just like what's going on right now in Louisiana about redistricting, right? Now they're saying that they're stalling because this election will be held in November. So what they are saying, these conservative people are saying that we need
More
time, or it's too late. We don't have enough time to draw maps, right? And then now I heard your mayor president was on the TV yesterday saying that we shouldn't divide Acadian Parish. We need only one congressman in D.C. Come on, you have one congressman in D.C. How many white congressmen you have from Louisiana?
And to go back to Lunsford, brother, remember Mr. Michael Brown, what he done to Michael Brown?
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
And that turned up nothing.
Yeah, nothing. And again, like with Major Brown, nothing that turned out. And I mean, and it never ends, But then they have someone that's paying this gentleman to do things like that. And another thing people need to know, he doesn't live in Lafayette Parish.
No.
He lives in
St. Martin Parish.
Yeah.
But he's in Lafayette Parish. He's in our business. That's the issue I have with the parish council members. They do not pay taxes to the city of Lafayette, but they involved in city of Lafayette matters. Okay, you have the mayor president. When he wants to get his way, in a sense, he put a joint. And then where he gets his vote from.
The
But
parish.
yeah, right. And they do not pick like right now. Who's gonna pay that bill you we were talking about right here?
Right.
The
The city of Lafayette.
Nobody else. Look, we just went through audit last two. You talk about the audit last two, but I mean the meeting last two.
So-
We had an audit. Now,
Correct.
at the completion of the audit, the auditor said that the city of Lafayette have around $600 million. $600 million.
Mm-hmm. And the parish gonna come in.
No,
either.
let me finish that.
Mhm.
The city has almost 600,000, somewhere around there, $600 million. The parish have 2 million.
Mhm.
$2 million. So you think that if we get sued for millions of dollars, who's gonna pay for it?
The city.
The city, because the parish will have what? $2 million.
Mhm.
So we get sued for 50 million. No, put it this way, we get sued for $2.5 million. They don't have enough to pay that.
Mhm.
2.5 million. They don't have enough because all they have is 2 million.
Mhm.
But the city have all this money.
Mhm.
Okay, lucky for LUS.
Mhm.
LUS put in millions of dollars every month. And it belongs to the city of Lafayette. But the parish somehow they're trying to finagle to get in there. They're trying to finagle to get in there where because that's what they're doing. Every once in a while they come to the city, they want to not say necessarily annex. They do not want to belong to the city. They don't want to annex, but they still want city water because they have a water well, or they want to get off Slimco because Slimco have a higher rate than LUS.
Mhm.
So they want to get LUS, but they don't want to annex. They don't want to pay property tax. They do not want to pay that city property tax, but they come in at, can we have city water? We want city water.
Mhm.
They don't want the well keeps breaking, right?
Mhm.
And they don't want to use a septic tank anymore.
Mhm.
So they want city utilities, but they don't want to annex. They don't annex. And they want LUS utilities because it's cheaper, right?
Mhm.
But then they come with this sad story, we can't annex, you know? And I mean, I just be like, wow, you know, why don't you annex? Oh, I
Man,
don't want
tell
to
you-
annex.
Man, look, you know what? That man is annexed. Let's you either go to Broussard or you either come to Lafayette because we not staying consolidated. That's what we gotta do.
Well, I know.
But us as constituents gotta get out there and do it. And we gotta also look at this too. The parish, I mean, with consolidation, one man serving the whole parish and the city. I was looking at a research study done by KALB News 5. Since 2010, the 2020 census shows that the parish of Lafayette population has grown by 9.1%. 20 more thousand some residents. With the population being that much, you can't say that one man gonna be able to cater to all these people that live in the parish on the parish issue, and at the same time cater to all these people that live in the city on the city issue. So with consolidation being like that, you don't have nobody that can be dedicated just for the parish and serve the needs of the parish. Because if you're working on something for the parish and you need something done for the city, well, hold on, I gotta handle this in the unincorporated areas first. Or if you working on something in the city and you calling him and you need to talk to him and you in the parish, he gotta say, hold on, I gotta finish up this with the city, then I can get with you. It's just an inconvenience
Yeah, well,
for both entities.
I say we should have an elected parish president for the parish and an elected mayor for the city of Lafayette, an elected chief of police, just like all the other entities have. You know, we are supposed to be the catalyst of the parish, but look like we the babies of the parish.
Well, you know, right now in November, there's an election going to be held in all the let me backtrack. We are in Lafayette Parish. We have 6 cities, all municipalities, whatever terminology you want to use, and 5 of them cities, municipalities having elections just November. Elected chief of police, a mayor, and a council. If you live in Lafayette, City of Lafayette, you cannot participate in the election. You can't vote for their mayor, you can't vote for their chief of police, and you cannot vote for their council. The following year, Lafayette gonna have an election for the city council members and the mayor of Lafayette, mayor president of Lafayette. But if you live in all these other 5 municipalities or cities, you can participate. Who's going to be the parish council
Mm-hmm.
and who's going to be the mayor president. Now, we don't have an elected chief of police, but they can participate. So all these people from all these other cities and municipalities in the Lafayette parish going to decide and determine who's going to be the mayor
You
president.
mean everybody could vote in Lafayette Parish for the mayor president, one vote?
Right. And they all can vote for parish council. All of them.
Hold up.
In October of 23. But November of 22,
Mhm.
all these other cities and municipalities have an election. But if you live in the city of Lafayette, you can't say who's going to be a council member or who's going to be their chief of police or who's going to be their mayor. They all have their own mayor, they all have their own, but they control their destiny, they control their autonomy, they control their city. But in Lafayette, if you live in Lafayette where there's $600 million, you cannot control it. The parish have something to say with it. I'm not the parish, the unincorporated area has something to say with it.
Mr. Lewis, I know you got the Protect the City committee together to do some things. I know you work on the budget at budget time. Do you think that the parish have saved some money by consolidation? And if you do, roughly estimate as to how much you think they done saved, and do you think the city has saved money by consolidation? And if any, roughly how much you think they?
Well, that's a question that really would be up to the accounting and the administrator. Remember, I'm the council member of the district I represent, so I'm concerned about that. So whatever the city and the parish do, I can only say that if they did, I mean, I can tell you that they did not, but the administrator and the accountant that handled the book, they're gonna say they save money on top of money because they are the one that I don't mind can manage. No council member might can manage. All we do is take care of our district, and then we're working on the budget now to see how we can do for our particular district. Yeah, the administration and
You know what? Speaking of the budget, what can you do to put some money in the budget to enclose Martin Luther King swimming pool?
Well, that's what I'm working on now. I just don't, I'm the type of person I don't say things until I see I know I'm gonna get it done.
Well, I'm asking.
Yeah, but I've been sitting my ass all over the place.
I'm asking that personally.
But even though you're not asking me personally, look, that's not personally.
Open meetings.
Yeah, that's my personal question to you. You know, not, and that's just one of my concerns. You know, I just thought about it.
Yeah.
You know, but keep on working in the background, doing what you have to do. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with the you plan on doing any other community conversations on town halls on what's going on in government and
Well, I have glad you asked. I have a town hall meeting this coming Wednesday at Brown Park. Let people know that the things that we are doing in the park. Some more things, some good things coming out there. Gonna have some design how the baseball, the hardball, and the softball fields are going to look. And we're also going to talk about, in fact, I want the public to know about, have a say-so about signage and stands and dugouts where they would like it to be. So it's going to be this Wednesday at 6 o'clock at Brown Park.
I want to commend you for getting their parking lot at King Center done. I also want to commend you for getting early voting at King Center. That was a big accomplishment far as I'm concerned,
Oh, yeah.
for the citizen of Lafayette, not just the district that you live in, but for the citizen of Lafayette. And all the other things that you have done, the Four Corners look nice now. You know, pretty soon we might have Willow Street done all the way from University
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Ambassador Caffrey. You know, Walker Road won't be a flood zone like it is right now.
Yeah, Mr. Lewis came in and reshaped District 1, former District 3.
Yeah.
Did a major reshaping to it, and it's looking good. And it's plenty more to come. We talking to City Councilman Patrick Lewis, District 1, former District 3 Councilman. Before we wrap it up, Mr. Lewis, is it anything else you want to let the viewers know, or any if you got any other announcements or anything coming up?
Well, I know this week here, starting today is the week of Juneteenth, so like people start participating in that. There's a lot of activities going to be happening at on the corner of Louisiana Avenue and Buick Street. That's over there. I'm sure everybody know where Louisiana Avenue is, and Buick Street is right around Northside High. So they have a lot of activities there, and they're also going to have some activities at the MLK tomorrow. So like people take advantage of the Juneteenth was going on. And I mean, I was surprised to hear, and I'm glad to hear that they recognize it as a state holiday. I think the state capitol will be closed tomorrow, even though it's on Saturday. They're gonna reopen on Monday. So I'm glad to hear that. So there's a lot of things. Someone asked me, why can't it be like the 4th of July, everybody off that day, you know? I mean, it'd be nice to see, but we have to remember we just started talking about Juneteenth the last few years, so it's getting bigger and bigger as it goes. So I'm sure within the next few years it might become a reality where that can be recognized to be a state holiday for all employees that work for our government will be off, or even private areas, you know. But that's something that we can look forward to. But again, in Juneteenth, it's when from my little knowledge that I know about it, I wish I knew a whole lot more about it, is that when people in Texas back in 17 something, I can't remember, 1800, found out that the slaves were free. So that's something that I'm starting to do a lot more research and history about it. I started hearing about it a few years ago, but then now I know it's something that's good that all people of color should know about it, you know, that it was free. And we didn't know about it when we became free. So when did Louisiana realize we were free? I don't know. Anyone in here know when Louisiana knew they were free? I mean, really, I don't know. You see,
We still not free. Still not.
so you see, that's what I'm saying. So that's what Juneteenth can't come from, that when people in Texas realized they were free. But I guarantee you, I need to find out when the people from Louisiana realized they were free. You know,
Yeah.
I live in Louisiana, I don't know.
You know, Councilman Lewis, we winding down.
Yeah.
You know, appreciate you coming in and
Sure.
share the knowledge and the wisdom that you have into your elected position. I want to give you all the I want to commend you for all the things that you have done for the district that I live in, you know, or the district that your constituents live in. Can nobody say you don't return your calls, none of that. You know, so all of these things, we was blessed to get you as a councilman. You know, co-host Keith,
Got a minute.
we got to shut it down, man.
Yeah, 1 minute.
On the road, but one thing I could say about Mr. Lewis, if somebody putting some an ordinance on the agenda that can help in his district,
Yeah.
he's not gonna get up and walk out the meeting.
What you talking about?
But, hey, look here. I want to thank you guys for allowing us
Talking about.
to come into your home, into your eyes, into your ear. We appreciate all the things that you guys do to make this show a success.
Well, we got a caller before we go.
Okay. Good morning, caller.
was the administration having to after they let go of the best chief police in the entire world, them having to go through these different trials and tribulations of being, to me, completely ignorant when you had the best and you decided to let him go.
So I think the question, what is the question again? What's your question about? How do I feel about? I think what was happening now that we're getting ready to stop the posting as far as to get the most qualified person to apply for the job. And I know at one time, not one time, last Tuesday, we had a conversation. The administrator was back, it was the council was talking about having the administrator wants to increase the pay for $40,000 from $130 to $170. But we know that it's not the pay of the administrator. He been in office. The administrator been in office for 3 years, and those almost 3 years, had 5 chief of police. No one stayed to get a tenure. So that's the issue right now. But this time, what I'm be pushing for is that there's a committee. Last time we had a committee, but have a town hall meeting. Have the people reach out. Whoever applied for these jobs, have all of them meet with the constituents. Especially in District 1 and 5. And if the other council members would like to have that, that'd be fine. Last time he had a committee, and he selected who he wanted the committee to interview. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Senegal, you was on that committee. That's what he did.
Yeah.
He the one who recommended and referred the guys that he wants y'all to talk to. Not all applicants. If you have 5 applicants, I want 5 applicants to come to the town hall meeting, to the one that I'm gonna have, and let my constituents decide who they want to be in the final, not the administrator. So it'd be almost like elected chief of police, but let the people decide who they would like to move forward in the applicant to move forward with the applicant. Not let the mayor president decide who he wants to be in the final. Let the people decide who will be in the final.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that answers her question.
Carly, you still there?
No,
Caller, you still there?
she gone. Yeah.
Caller.
And we all, technically we all there.
Oh,
Okay.
We all 56 minutes up. Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let the people decide.
Decide.
Yeah, let the people decide who's gonna do that.
Yeah,